answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
Not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'm a left on a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 16-yard line. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I talk with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. To throw is Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Check. Hey, pick it in. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch safety green.
A first carry now. This is Hill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And now off to the races, down the right side. And it's a touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
The point after is good, and we are tied at 7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. First down, a run with Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second and 11 now. Brissett. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. This is Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Throwing on second down. Brissett under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It's third and long for Brissett. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dallas Goedert, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have taken the lead.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive, and the result for the Colts is a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 43. Check.
On second down, it's Hill.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Check the backer. Watch out.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point safely through. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Another try after the first down sack. Brissett, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now Brissett, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 2nd down, Hill. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On third down, it's Hill. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Kill. Turn. 24 is down, he's coming. Kill. Check 24. Hey, watch it.
On the ground, this is Hill. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll run on first down. Hines, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Hines. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Tight on Ringo. Hey. You got 3.
From the gun, here's Watson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we have reached halftime with it. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, it's Miles. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You see me? You see me? They can't
Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. Here we go on 4th. Watson looking now, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Let's go. Check. Check 3, 2, 4.
Now a 10th carry for Hill. Dances by at the 20. And some room to work. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone. And in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett, blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Brissett. This short throw caught by Goddard, and this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
36 yards on the play. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back now in Houston. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Undercross. Hit him now. Check hot route. Hot. Shift. Watch the shift.
They stick on the ground on 1st down with Hill. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Check safety. Check your hot read. Showing up. Watch twist.
They run it again with Hill. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. 24. Alert flare. Check 26. Check. Crunch.
Again, it's Hill. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Kill.
They'll run it with Hill. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Zach Cunningham in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Zach Cunningham able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Here we go, D. Hey, just in 24. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Now let's go.
Here's Hill one more time. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now here's Hill, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's Brissett. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
On fourth down, Watson. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophy, some...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
Brissett from the gun on third. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the